There are two Japanese verbs that mean receive. Morau and itadaku. Morau is more casual, whereas itadaku is humble language, and when you use it, you're showing deference to the person that you used it with. For example, let's say we received a present. Presento o moraimashita. I received a present. Nothing is wrong with that. It's actually polite language. Remember that even though morau is not as high level as itadaku, it is still polite when you use it in the moraimashita form. We didn't say moratta, morachatta. If we said, I received a present from a person and we want to show deference to them, show a little bit of humbleness towards them, relay that we respect them, we would say, presento o itadakimashita. The same thing can be done when we combine morau and itadaku with the te form. A common usage of the te morau is to have somebody look at something for you. Previously we learned mite kuremashita. They looked at it for me. There we are explaining what they did. They gave us the benefit of that action. But when we say mite moraimashita, it means I had them look at it for me. It's from your perspective what you did. Now, if we say a very common phrase, sensei ni mite moraimashita, it means I had a doctor look at it for me. I received the benefit of them looking at it for me. Now you might think, a doctor? That's a very respectful position. We should always say mite itadakimashita, but that is not true. If I'm talking with friends and family or anyone, I can still say mite moraimashita because, as I stated previously, moraimashita is a polite form. But if we want to put in the language that we have respect, showing our humbleness, we might say mite itadakimashita. Let's take this one step further in a real life example. If you went to the Grand Canyon or some other touristy spot around the world, you might meet a Japanese tourist. Maybe they're traveling alone, which is something you'll see. And they come up to you and for some reason, they speak to you in Japanese. They might ask you to take a photo for them. The phrase to take a photo in Japanese is shashin o toru. They wouldn't say shashin o totte kudasai, because that just means take a photo. And that's a little bit direct. Using the te morau or te itadaku form, they would say, will you take a photo for me? Can I receive the benefit of you taking a photo? And the way they would do it is of two forms. Te mo ii desu ka? Or potential form. Here's how it would work. Shashin o totte moratte mo ii desu ka? Would it be all right if you took a photo for me? Or, shashin o totte itadaite mo ii desu ka? Same thing, a little bit more humble. Or they might use the potential form and say, shashin o totte moraemasu ka? Can I have you take a photo for me? Or, shashin o totte itadakemasu ka? Can I have you take a photo for me? A little bit more polite. Either way is completely normal and fine for you to use yourself. And if you are in Japan right now, I would 100% recommend you practice this in real life situations and just ask people to take your photo. One final thing I want to talk about when we talk about speaking humble or these keigo, these polite type of speaking words in Japanese. If you first meet somebody, your default Japanese level should always be polite, also called desu masu ke, desu masu ke, desu must form. You're going to use mas, mashita, masen deshita, and desu. And in the very beginning, you could be polite. Itadakimashita, goran ni narimashita. These type of phrases which are built into Japanese that are humble. The problem is, if you overuse these as you become friends, you run the risk of having your friend think that you're not close, because most close Japanese people will start using the casual forms. So that's the risk of you always speaking polite. And I know it's easy to think, if I'm always polite, there's no problem, but that's not the case here. And the opposite should be said. When you first meet somebody, do not run to the casual forms no matter what your personality is, if you start off casual, it can be considered rude, and it is very much out of Japanese protocol to start out using morau, moratta. You should always try to use moraimasu, moraimashita, itadakimasu, itadakimashita. That being said, I do believe I have somehow hacked into the Japanese psyche. When I was interpreting, often I would be interpreting for high-level Japanese people, presidents of large corporations. And my tendency after those first few minutes of being high-level polite, I drop it down real quick because I'm not a polite person. I'm generally very casual as a human being. Somehow that affects them and it becomes like we are friends, even though I'm in a subservient role as their interpreter. While all of their staff is still treating them with high regard in their words, somehow we are laughing like friends. It's some sort of hack. I wouldn't recommend you try it in a situation where it's really important to you. For me, I didn't do it on purpose, but it's just kind of a fun thing to think about. All right, that's it for today, guys. I'll see you on the next Japanese from Zero lesson. By the way, I forgot to mention, this is book 4. If you want to learn things like this, Japanese from Zero book 4 is available. And also, all of these lessons and videos are up on FromZero.com for a very low $12-ish. I'm not sure what the price is now when you're looking at it, but go check it out. Bye, guys.